and welcome to new releases for the week of August 4th. I'm going to structure this video a bit differently than I normally do. I'm actually going to categorize things. So I have, I think, 5 items that I'm actually really tempted by, 5 that I'm definitely not tempted by, and I do have one where I'm like, I'm squarely on the fence. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this product yet. And that is the order in which I'm going to approach this. So we're going to start on the high note, swing down to the low, and end on a, I don't know, what do you guys think kind of note. So let's just dive straight in. First up are the foundations and setting powders from ABH. These are already available on the Anastasia Beverly Hills website as well as the Ulta website. I can see them on the Sephora website, but you can't actually purchase them until August 15th, so there's a bit of a 2-week teaser there. I am very, very interested in trying out specifically the foundation. I am toying with the idea of picking up one of the loose setting powders as well, and I'm really having a debate between the translucent and the banana powder. I'm really not sure which one would be best for me. I may or may not get the setting powder, I'm not sure, but definitely the foundation. I am very intrigued by this. I do have their stick foundation. I don't think a lot of people really liked the stick foundation, but I did. So I'm hoping that I'm also going to like the liquid foundation. I like that they're calling it a luminous foundation, but the finish on it is actually natural. So it's not going to be, at least I don't think it's going to be overly dewy where it looks artificial or wet. I also like that it's a medium coverage. While I do have some full coverage and I don't mind them, they're not what I gravitate towards for an everyday kind of look. I do prefer almost like a BB cream or tinted moisturizer, and on days where I feel like I need just a little bit more help with my skin, medium coverage is kind of my jam. So this sounds like the kind of foundation that was made with all of my preferences in mind. So I have high hopes, and I am really hoping that it's going to meet those expectations. The packaging on it as well, I think, is really sleek. I know some people have complained that it says foundation along the side. The reasoning behind that is for pro artists, according to Narvina, so that when they open up their kit, they can clearly see what it is. So, I mean, that's kind of cool, and honest to God, if it bothers you that much, just turn the bottle so you don't see it. It's not that big of a deal. The setting powders, like I said, I'm kind of on the fence about, but I am leaning towards picking one up. I just can't decide if I want translucent or banana. Probably banana because I have so many translucent powders, but it's going to be a game day decision. I've just realized that I didn't scooch over, so the ABH pictures were probably cutting off my face. So, you know, I've only done like 25 of these things. You'd think that I would know by now, but anyways, here we are. Next up, let's talk about Melt Cosmetics. They are coming out with 5 new liquid lipstick shades, which they are calling their Undertone Nude Collection. You can get the entire set for $65 US, or they are going to retail for $19 US each. I believe on the Canadian Sephora website, they're about $24, $25 each. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's where they sort of fall. Certain shades in here are more appealing to me than others. So there is a robust espresso with a cool undertone called Ebony. There is chestnut, which is a rich sable brown with a golden undertone. Ginger is a vibrant rusty red brown with a warm neutral undertone. That one I definitely have my eye on. Fawn is a medium almond with a cool undertone, and golden is a warm beige with an olive yellow undertone. And I'm curious about fawn. At least I think it's fawn, the bottom left. Warm beige, medium almond. Like I can't tell which one's which. Between the top and the bottom on the left-hand side, I can't tell which one's almond and which one's beige, because aren't almonds beige? I don't know. But the one on the bottom looks unique and looks very interesting to me, but I tend to lean towards golden in terms of my own undertones, and I'm thinking that that might be altogether too much. It might actually make me look quite sallow, so I'm not I'm not sure. I think I would definitely want to swatch that if in fact I can find them in stores. If I don't think they're sold in stores, to be honest. I think it's online exclusive at Sephora. So I may not roll the dice on that one, but certainly Ginger I think is absolutely beautiful, and it just screams sweater weather to me. And now that it's August, I'm already like eyes on mid-September when you start getting that little bit of crispness in the air. Oh, that is my wheelhouse. I love that type of weather. So this reminds me of that, and I am therefore fully on board. Oh, no, okay, it's golden. Never mind. If I look at the other picture, it clearly describes what the colors are. So golden is the one on the bottom left, as I did not think it was. Next is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Coral palette. It is a 5-pan palette, but it's not a mini. So these are full-sized pans. It's just that there's only 5 of them. And it looks stinking beautiful. These are the kind of colors that I absolutely adore. I am very much drawn to this, but it's 63 Canadian. So I'm very, very tempted, but I don't think I'm gonna like run out and grab it right away. I think I'm gonna let it percolate for a little bit and see a month from now if I'm still really intrigued by it, then I might buy it at that point. For right now, although it's shiny and new, I'm gonna take a beat, take a breath, calm down, and just press pause for now. But I definitely have my eye on it. I'm also really tempted by these Jouer lip balm things. What are these? The Lip Enhancer Shine Balms. There is just something about Jouer packaging, the aesthetic of that brand, it just like speaks to my soul. Everything looks so classy, so luxe and beautiful, and these are no exception. So can I buy a lip balm just for the packaging? This is like 23 Canadian. It's 18 US. I have enjoyed everything I've tried from Jouer. Again, there was one exception. I bought their, was it like Funfetti? The little, it's like a trio of minis, and I did not like that very much. But for the most part, I have really enjoyed everything that I've tried from them, and I'm really enjoying sheer lips lately, so this is like right up my alley. But do I want to spend that much money for a package? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's not break the bank, but it's still like, if you add another $20 on to, say, a $50 foundation order, now you're looking at $70, and it gets out of hand really quickly. So again, this is one of those things where I think I'm just going to try to push it off and see if my feelings change over it a few weeks down the road. I got my eye on you, Jouer. The packaging is freaking top notch. It truly is. So there's one more thing that I'm very curious about. Not quite to the same degree as I'm curious about the ABH foundation, but the new Fenty Pro Filter Hydrating Foundation. Again, I think that's kind of right up my alley. This one is, again, that natural finish. It delivers hydration in medium, buildable to full coverage, and it keeps skin looking like skin, and it all sounds just perfect for what I'm looking for. So I'm very curious about this one. Do I need to buy this? It becomes available August 15th. So do I need to buy this at the same time that I buy the ABH one, considering the fact that I don't wear foundation every day? Probably not. It's $100 to just try out foundations. So what I'm hoping, this sounds so cheap of me, but it is what it is. What I'm hoping is that Sephora will come out with like deluxe size samples of this one so that I can give it a try. Because I'm more on board with the ABH one than I am with this one, but I still really want to try this one. Does that make sense? I think so. Let's move on. We are now about to talk about the things that I'm not interested in buying. Okay, off the top, the new collaboration between ColourPop and Becky G. Is that who it is? Yes. There are 4 Super Shock shadows included in this, and I just want to talk specifically about them because the colors are beautiful. But I have probably 15 Super Shock Oh my god, Super Socks. Super Shock Shadows. They need to change that name, if only to help me out, because I cannot say it. So I have about 15 of them. They're fantastic. Like, the quality of the shadows is wonderful. I never reach for them. I don't know what it is. They sit in a drawer off to my left. I can see them. It's a transparent acrylic case, so it's not like they're out of sight, out of mind. I just never reach for them. There's like 3 that I use on a fairly regular basis, and the rest of them just languish in makeup purgatory. So I don't want to add to that collection when I know that even if these colors are beautiful, I'm just not going to reach for them very often. I like to use mine as one and dones. Like, I love the shade I Heart This. It's like a silvery pewter kind of shade. I love swipe my finger, swipe it on, good to go. That's what I like to use them for, and these aren't the kind of colors that I would do a one and done look with, and that is why I don't want to buy them. Also, ColourPop. For the love of God, take a break. Just take a break. It is altogether too much. Like, the orange palette came out a week later, that strawberry, whatever it was, palette came out. Yes, I may have bought both of them, but what's gonna come out this week? What's gonna come out next week and the week after that? And interspersed between all that, you have these collabs. It is too much. It is overwhelming, and it's almost to the point where I'm just like, I don't even wanna know anymore. Like, I don't wanna see the posts on it. I don't wanna hear about it, even though I'm sitting here talking about it. I want to just go to the website when I feel like browsing that specific website and then look through everything at that point. Because I just feel like it's just being vomited in my face at this point. It's altogether too much. Okay, so the next thing that I am not interested in is from Maybelline, and these are their Master Chrome Jelly Highlighters. I can't get behind jelly highlighters. I don't know. Maybe this formula is fantastic and it would truly change my mind, but because I've tried so many others that I've been disappointed by, I'm not willing to put my money out towards them again. Just not. Jelly, I have a jelly primer that I really like. That one's from NYX. I don't mind that one. And I have like the bouncy blushes from Incredible, and I love those. But jelly highlighters in specific, for some reason, they just don't do it for me. They feel sticky on the skin. They have this weird consistency. Like, I don't enjoy them at all. We'll just leave it like that. I don't enjoy applying them. I don't enjoy the look of them. I don't enjoy wearing them. So, ergo, not gonna buy them. Also, this new Pac-Man collaboration. So we just had a Pac-Man collaboration with Wet n Wild, and now Essence is doing one. I mean, I don't know, but I'm guessing that Pac-Man has some sort of anniversary this year, and that's why there's been 2 collaborations in rapid succession. I could be wrong, but I'm guessing. I'm not interested in it. Like, is it cute? Sure. Do I like Pac-Man? No. Pac-Man stresses me out. I talked about that when I talked about the Wet n Wild one. It is like ground zero for all of my issues with anxiety at this point. That and the game Perfection. Cannot handle them. And really, the colors in here aren't anything particularly exciting, and honestly, they're not even all that Pac-Man-y, if you will. I would have expected more bolder colors, things like that. This just looks like a neutral palette with some Pac-Man themed decals on it. So, no. Thank you. Okay, Clionadh Cosmetics has brought back a palette, so I'm guessing this was a palette that was available, I'm guessing, last year, because it's called the Summer Eyeshadow Palette, but it says she's back, so... Also, if I could read, it says Summer 2018 right on the post, so ignore me. Alright, so it has 14 shades, it's $44. It just looks very one-note to me, and, I mean, I don't know what my aversion is to Clionadh Cosmetics. I've never tried anything. Maybe her products are amazing. I don't know. But I'm so, like, apathetic towards the Jenners and Kardashians. It's not even that I actively dislike them. They could fall off the face of the earth and it would have absolutely no impact on me. Like, it wouldn't even blip on my radar. So, no. I don't feel like you could make a ton of different looks with this. I'm sure that you could make some different looks with it, but A lot of the mattes kind of end up just looking the same. I would be concerned that once applied and blended out, that it all just kind of mushes into one shade on the eyes. I could be completely wrong on that. You know, you feel free to correct me. That's just my concern looking at it as a consumer. So I don't want to put $44 US towards this, which is like 50 some odd dollars, when I could just add another 10 and get the Natasha Denona, which I know is going to perform amazingly. You know what I mean? Okay. All right, and now for the last product that I am definitely not going to be buying. It is from Kat Von D. She has released 6 new lipstick shades. She's calling them the Cream Lipstick Capsule Collection, and I am not down for it. They're $20 each. That price tag doesn't bother me. There are some very nice shades in here. There are some very different shades in here. I question the timing of the release. These were released, I think it was July 24th, in and around that area. These are very much more fall appropriate in my opinion. I mean, wear whatever you want, whenever you want, but traditionally speaking, these are more autumnal shades, if you will. So I think more like a mid to late August, early September release would have made more sense, but I've long since given up trying to make Kat Von D Beauty make sense because they don't. There's a whole whack of reasons why I don't want to buy these. First of all, I don't like the Studded Kiss lipsticks. I don't. I've had a couple. They travel on my lips and they move out into the corner, and even when I wipe them out of the corner of my lips, they travel on back. I just can't with that. I just cannot. So I certainly don't want to do that with like a dark teal shade where it would be completely obvious. And if it's willing to travel over here, it's probably going to travel on my teeth, and it's too much of a risk for me. I'm not willing to do that. There are some very pretty shades in here, but they're not pretty enough for me to get past the issues with the lipstick itself. And then there's also the KVD connection. I haven't formally boycotted KVD. I haven't. I have made my feelings on her known, but I haven't come out and fully said I'll never buy from her again. What I have said, and what I continue to say, is that I would buy from her if it was something that was really exciting, something fresh, something new, something that I was just really curious about trying, and new shades of existing lipsticks are definitely not that. So there's really nothing here that compels me to buy these. All right, so that brings us to the product where I'm just kind of sitting on the fence, hoping that somebody will knock me over either way. And that is the new collaboration palette between ABH and Jackie Aina. I believe it's actually called the Jackie Aina palette. So I've just seen pictures of it for the first time today on the Sephora website. It won't be available for purchase until August 15th, but they do have it up on the site already. And I don't know. I'm not put off by it, but nor do I think I would get an absolute ton of use out of it. I think they've done a good job of including a wide variety of tones, so it's not just a neutral palette with 1 or 2 pops of color. I think they've got some really great matte options in there. I like that it's a mix of mattes and shimmers. I frankly like that the tones are all a bit deeper. I mean, obviously that makes sense because Jackie Aina had a hand in creating this, but I like that as well, even as a person who is very fair in tone, because it's something different. A lot of the palettes are really bright and bold or very neutral, and this kind of marries that whole colorful with a more sultry, smoky aspect to it. So I really like that. I think I'd want to wait and see swatches of it. They do have swatches on the Sephora website, but I want to see live swatches. The more I look at it, the more versatile it looks and the more potential eye looks sort of come to mind. So that's a good sign for me. When I look at certain palettes and I can only come up with like 2 different looks out of 14 eyeshadows, that's where I absolutely know, just like don't even bother going down that road because I'll never reach for it. But this one, the more I look at it, the more possibilities I see, so that's good. But again, I think I want to see the swatches just to see how those metallics perform. I mean, it's ABH. I have high expectations for the actual performance of the shadows. I'm not sure that this is something that I would use a lot. I don't know, like I said, I'm on the fence. So feel free to try to convince me either way. I would appreciate that kind of feedback, to be honest, and I'd love to hear from you on any of the products that I've talked about today. And now that you've watched me hem and haw and internally struggle with this palette, I'm gonna end this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next one. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now, guys. Do you see yourself? Who's that?
Bennett.
That's Bennett. Can you say hi, everybody? Can you say new releases?
Say new releases.
Can you say that?
Or not.
Apparently not. What does a giraffe say?
I'm tall.
I'm tall. That's right. Okay, can you take one more look at yourself? Can you say bye-bye? Oh my god, away you go.